If you want to host a course in Squarespace, you can use Squarespace Member Areas, which is a membership portal that can be built into your existing Squarespace site. In a different video, which I'll link somewhere up here now and underneath the video, we broke down if you should use member areas or not versus other course-specific softwares and the pros and cons of all of those. So if you're not sure if Squarespace Member Areas is right for you, maybe check that out first. But this video is a full member areas tutorial, how to get started, how to get it all set up. So if you're planning to use it, this is the video you want to watch. Let's jump right in. Okay, so Member Areas is available on Squarespace 7.1 and Squarespace 7.0. I've got a couple of test sites open just to show you the differences. Mostly it's all going to be exactly the same. The only difference is when you actually come to editing the pages, which I'm not really going to show you today because you edit the pages in your member area just exactly the same as you edit any page on your Squarespace site. So however you're editing pages now, whether you're on 7.0 or 7.1, it's going to work just the same in member areas. So that is one thing that makes them nice and easy. Getting started, whether you're on 7.0 and 7.1 is the same as well. So if you go to settings, click on member areas, make sure your member areas is turned on and click create member area. And what this is going to do is it's going to instantly redirect you to your pages panel. So this is just your regular pages panel in your main navigation. And if you scroll down, you're going to see now you've got this member areas here in your sidebar. And on 7.0, it's the same thing. It might be at the very bottom. It might look a little bit different, but it is there in your pages panel. Depending on which plan you've chosen, whether it's the starter plan, the core plan, or the pro plan, which is currently the 3 different plans that Squarespace offers for member areas, you will either get 1 member area, 3, or 10 member areas. So I'm going to link below the pricing details for that, but basically there's 3 plans at the moment. They all come with a different amount of member areas. They also come with different fees. So check out that link for all the up-to-date fees. And they come with a bit of video storage too, which I'll get into a little bit later. But right now, you'll just want to make sure that you're using a plan that gives you the amount of member areas that you need. So basically, a member area counts as, say, 1 course or 1 area that you want to give access to. Now, you can add as many pages as you want per member area. So it's not the pages, but it's the access. So if you have 2 courses that you'd want to sell, you'd want to set those up as separate member areas. So then you can give access to those member areas to separate people. So it's super easy to start. Just click the plus, just like you would to add a page, to add a new members area. So you can add the name of your course or membership, a description, and you can see here on the right, this is going to give you an example of the member sign up block. And this is a block that's built into Squarespace that you can add anywhere. And you're going to use this to basically sell your membership. So this just gives you an example of what it would look like. You've got your different pricing plans, the title here, the price and the recurring price if it's recurring, the description, which is what we're working on right here, and then the sign up button. So that gives you a good quick overview of what your member sign up block might look like. When you scroll down, you can add in your pricing and you can add multiple pricing tiers, which is great, whether it's a subscription, a fixed amount with multiple payment options, or even if it's just free. So lots of fun things to choose from. So I'm just going to leave the standard example stuff in there, but obviously fill in all your details and then click create. Okay, so instantly you're going to see down here, your member area is now in your member areas panel in the pages panel. Now, if we want to add content to the member area, we need to add a page. So adding pages to our member area is as simple as adding pages anywhere else on Squarespace. You can also choose between all of the different types of pages. I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can structure your course in Squarespace that hopefully you find really helpful. Squarespace doesn't actually have any extra page layouts or anything specific to courses in here. So you have to work with the pages that they provide. There's nothing extra when it comes to member areas. I think they could really improve on this and really give us a proper course interface, which would be awesome. But right now we're working with blank pages and our regular collections. So let me show you how I would set up a course in Squarespace quickly. The first way would be with just blank pages. So I'm going to add a blank page And this would either be my module or a lesson. So let's just say this is lesson 1. And you could add all of your lessons with regular blank pages. So I'll just quickly add lesson 2 just to show you. Now these pages work exactly like all of your other pages in Squarespace. So if you know how to edit your pages in Squarespace, you don't have to relearn anything here. So let's pretend that this page is a lesson. I'm just going to add a blank section like I would on a regular page. Maybe add some text. Put the details on the page for the lesson. And maybe we would add a video, some more text, or whatever resources you need on this page. This could be your lesson page, and I'm going to get into videos shortly, but let's just focus on the page structure right now. So it works just like a regular page. You can put anything you want on that page and anything you want into any of these lessons. Now, if you use this method, it's very important to make sure you link these lessons somewhere so that people can actually find them. So what I would do is I would add another blank page and I would make this your sort of course homepage. So we could call it Back to Basics because that is the title of our course. I'm just going to drag it up to the top to keep things organized. And then I would create sort of a course homepage. So similar thing, you have full creative freedom for how you want this to look. Okay, so very basic title. Then I would just make sure to link out those lessons on your homepage. So you could either do this really simply with text. You could set up images with little thumbnails. Again, full creative freedom here to do what you want to link to these lessons, but it's really important to have an area where people can actually find where the lessons are and access them. Otherwise, they're not going to know where to go to find these pages. So let's just say we've got our 2 lessons. I'm going to add 2 text blocks and say lesson 1. And maybe you could add a button block, or you could just add a text link. Okay, so if you are adding a button, under content, you'll want to actually link to the lesson you just created. So click on the cog, head to your pages panel, and have a look through your lessons. So you can see with this little icon, this is the member area, and you can see the different lessons that we set up there. So just click on it and then click Save. I'm just going to duplicate that button, double click to open up the settings, and then I'm going to relink this one to lesson 2. So something really simple like that so they can actually go to the lessons. Okay, so hopefully you've got the gist of that. The second way, and actually my favorite way to set up a course in member areas, is to use a blog. So it's a similar system to this, but you're using blog features instead of having to use individual pages. So let me quickly show you. If I click Add Page, I'm going to add a blog. Then I'm going to choose my blog layout, and I'm going to go with this one because this is going to be actually my course page, and I'm going to want to link out to my different lessons. So you've got your blog here, and this could even be your homepage. It depends how you structure your course. If you just have simple lessons with one homepage, then this could be your homepage. But maybe if you have modules and then lessons that you want to break down even further, you might need to create multiple blog pages for each module and then have the lessons within those modules as the blog posts. So hopefully showing you this is going to sort of open your mind to what's possible. So we're in a blog now. Generally, this is used for blogging, but in this case, we're going to use it as our course. So I'm going to click Edit on the main blog page, and this is going to be my course homepage. I'm going to click Add Section above the blog section. And again, I'm just going to create this as my course homepage. I'm just doing a very simple example here. Again, do anything you want to do. You can add as many sections you want above or below the actual blog section. And you can go ahead and edit the design of this blog section by clicking Edit Section on this actual section. So you can play around with how the posts are laid out or how many columns you have. You can change the thumbnail image or you can remove it altogether. Text alignment, you can hide and show the excerpt. There's tons of things that you can play around with in here to design this specific section of your blog, or in this case, your course. Then your blog post would actually be your lessons. So Squarespace just adds a bunch of example blog posts. Let's open up one. You can add your own blank post by just clicking the plus up here, or you can just edit one they've already got by clicking the 3 dots and clicking settings. So this is where you'd upload a thumbnail image if you want one. And you can see this is the thumbnail image that displays on the main course or blog page. This is the excerpt. So again, you can hide and show this on the main page, but maybe you'd want to add some information about your lesson here. You'll want to change the post URL. So if this is for lesson 1, we could just change it to lesson 1 or something simple like that. Under options, you can adjust the status, comments. So you could even turn on comments if you wanted to have comments on for your course. And there's other things that are more blog related that you could play around with, like tags and categories or featured posts. You don't really need to do anything for SEO, social image, share, or location, because those are more blog settings for sharing your post. But because we're using this as sort of a back-end course system, we won't be using any of those features. So click save, and that's going to save those new settings. So you'll see the updates here on the main blog page. So you can see this one here, add some information about your lesson here. So in those settings, we could have updated the image and the excerpt. So to update the actual title and the post, we need to click into it and then click edit on the page. And we just edited it like a normal page. So I'm going to call this lesson 1. And you can add any blocks within your blog post. So you can go ahead and add any text related to your lesson, images, videos. You just click on the plus to add a block and you can choose from any of the blocks. So the pages for your course can be super in-depth because you can add all of these blocks, which is awesome. So those are the 2 ways we would recommend setting up your course. Just utilizing blog pages can be super handy, or just using regular pages, but making sure you have a central homepage where you're actually linking out to the lessons. So you can either have that central homepage created manually, depending on how you want to set it up, or you could have that central homepage be a blog and set up like this. Okay, so if you have actually set up a course homepage, let's pretend that this is the one that we want to use. Make sure to actually set it as your homepage. So you can do that by clicking on the cog, scrolling down, and set as member area homepage. So when the customer logs in, they're going to go straight to this homepage. Okay, so let's talk about uploading videos. So with Squarespace Member Areas, there is some video hosting included. All Squarespace sites give you, at the moment, 30 minutes of uploaded video time. Now with the Member Areas plans, I think on the starter plan, you can get an additional 5 hours. On the core plan, an additional 20 hours, and the pro plan is an additional 50 hours. So you do get quite a lot of video storage if you are on a Member Areas plan. But if you do have a very video heavy course, or you have lots of courses with lots of videos, you still might go over that. So I'll just quickly show you all of the different ways to upload videos. So we're just on our regular lesson 1 page here, but the same applies for inside a blog. If you're on Squarespace 7.0, or if you're on the Squarespace 7.1 blog, adding a block is slightly different. You would have just seen in the last section that you click the little plus to add a block instead of clicking add block. It's a slightly different editor, but both of them are pretty easy to use. So clicking add block in this case, I'm going to search video, and it's going to add a video block. So I'm just going to position it where I want. Let's say it's here in the middle. Then I'm going to click on it and click on the edit icon, and it's going to open up the video settings panel. So you can see here, mine says 30 minutes left, and that's because I only just have a regular site plan. I haven't upgraded to a member area plan to get more video hosting. So it'll tell you here how much video storage you've got left. To upload a video, you just click add video and you can upload your files. And then once you've uploaded your video, there's a few settings you can play around with. Now, if you do think you're going to run out of video storage, I recommend using a platform like YouTube to upload your videos, or Vimeo, or any sort of online video host. You will likely need to pay extra for this, so it's a little bit of a pain. If you use YouTube, it is free, but it probably comes with some ads. I recently created a video about how to embed YouTube videos into your Squarespace site for free, so to utilize that free video hosting from YouTube, and I will link that below. So check that out if you're out of video hosting on Squarespace and you don't want to pay any extra for video hosting. It's a really good option and it's free. Otherwise, you can look into Vimeo or Wistia, or even I use Descript at the moment, which is like an online video editor, but they also have a way to embed videos. So there are lots of options out there. If you did want to embed a video, you're not going to use a video block. You're actually going to use an embed block. So same thing, just drag it to where you want to put your video. Click the edit icon, and here within this link area, you can embed a YouTube or a Vimeo link. Or if you're using something else to embed your videos, you could use a code snippet. Click embed data, and you can paste the code here. So any video software that claims that you can host and embed videos will give you a code that you could put here. Then you can also upload your own custom featured image as well. So that's how to add videos to your course, and you've got complete freedom to add those to any pages or blog posts. There is also another option of adding a video page. So you can click Add Page to your course and click Videos. So this is almost like a blog, but it's just video based. So there's a couple of layouts here, and you can change these once you click through. So just choose anyone to start with, rename the page whatever you want, and I'll just show you how it works. So if you click edit on the page, you can add sections just like the blog. So you can add sections above and below the videos. If you click edit section, there's a bunch of settings here to change the layout. Now you can see that there's these tabs along the top, which are actually the video categories, and I'll show you how to update those soon. So you could split your course up this way, but of course this really is only relevant if you've got a video for every single lesson. Otherwise, you'd be better off to just use a blog, because you can achieve really a very similar look and a very similar structure, but you don't have to have a video for every single lesson. So you can play around with all of the settings there for how this is displayed. Click Save when you're happy with your changes. And then here in the sidebar, you can actually manage your videos. So if I click All, it's going to open up all of the videos. Very similar to a blog, click on the three dots and edit. So you can change the title, upload your video here, change the featured image, update the excerpt, which is the wording that shows up on the video page. So the description is basically the wording that's going to show up underneath the video on the video page, which I will show you soon. You'll want to change your custom URL again. So let's just change it to something like lesson 1. You can play around with related videos if you want to. And what is important, I think, if you do want to use these video pages, is to set categories. So this is where you would set your category. You can just type in a category, click enter, and then you can toggle them on or off. So I'm going to toggle that on, click save, because the categories actually show up on the main page. If we go back to the main video page, you can see there's now a category called category, which is the one I just created. And this is the way to filter videos on a video page. So let's click into that video and I'll just show you how that description displays what we were just configuring before. So you've got your video at the top, title, and then this is where your description goes. And at the bottom, this is where your recommended videos come from too. So this video page is pretty cool. I think in most cases, if you want a course that has a combination of video and text and maybe downloadable files and links and images, then you'd be much better off using just regular pages or blog pages, because the video pages literally just have a video and then a description of the video. So unless your course is like heavily video based, then you'd be better off just using regular pages or a blog page and embedding your videos where you want them and where you need them. And then you're also able to customize much more. But that is another option for structuring your course and also where to upload videos. Okay, so now you've learned basically all of the different ways to configure your member areas. Let's quickly jump in and talk about the member areas settings. So go to settings, member areas. Before you're able to actually launch your course, you'll want to go through and just make sure all of these settings are configured exactly how you want them to be. So this Manage Members button is going to take you to your Profiles tab. This is a way to manage basically all of the people, subscribers, leads, customers, and your members are in here too. So if you do have members that are signed up, also if you're maybe using Squarespace email campaigns or Squarespace e-commerce for anything else, you'll have other people in here too. So this is basically where you manage everyone that has had anything to do with your Squarespace site. They'll all be in here. If we go back to settings, member areas, and scroll down, there's some shortcuts here to things that you'll want to set up before you start selling. So here you're going to find a list of shortcuts, and most of these shortcuts will take you to areas within your e-commerce panel. So your Squarespace e-commerce panel here, if you click on commerce, this is where you'll want to set everything up to be able to take payments on Squarespace. So obviously when we set up your membership, we added those payment tiers, but you do still need to set up a few settings to be able to actually receive the payments. Now there's a ton of different settings in here, so I would actually just use the settings, member areas shortcuts. And if you get all of this stuff set up, you're going to be able to sell your course. So payments is basically just connecting your payment software. So you need to set up a payment software to receive payments. Squarespace, you can use Stripe or PayPal. If you click on that button, it's going to take you through all the steps. Squarespace makes it really easy. So go ahead and get those set up if you haven't already. Discounts is where you can configure discounts if you want to add discounts. I'm not going to go into that because you don't really need discounts and it's very self-explanatory when you go in there. Taxes is something you'll definitely want to configure, but this obviously depends on exactly your tax rates and your tax rules for wherever you are. So here you can choose where to actually collect tax and then how the tax is added. I'm just going to go back into member areas. Accounting is just a simple way you can download your accounting reports. So you'll definitely want to set up your customer notifications. So go ahead and click on that, and it's going to give you the option for your membership welcome and your membership canceled messages. So there is a default email in here. It's got your linked site title, so that will be your site title, and then it will say welcome to your member area. So this will be the title of your member area. As a member, you now have exclusive access to name of your member area, login. So it'll have your login link here for them to log into your website. Now you can customize this however you want by just clicking edit email. I do believe though that you do get one email template for all of your membership areas. So try to keep it pretty generic if you have more than one member area because they're going to get the same email. Obviously the name of the member area will be different and the login link will be different, but otherwise the email will be generally the same. And then there's one for membership cancel too. If you did want to edit that, that one's probably not as important, but you can edit that template. Okay, let's go back all the way to settings, member areas. So then here's just a link to the commerce settings, which is just what I showed you before. If you just click on commerce in the sidebar, you have a ton of extra settings here if you want to set up any extra settings that might be related to your membership. Otherwise, if you have just set up all of those things that we just talked about, that should be enough to get going and get started with selling your membership. There's just one other really important thing you do need to set up before you sell. So if we go to settings again, member areas, scroll all the way to the bottom and click on your member navigation. So this is quite essential to set up correctly because this is how people are going to navigate around your membership. So as the default, it's set to replace main navigation. So once your customer is logged in, basically they're going to see a new navigation. This is an example here When I hover over, it's got all of the pages that I have in the pages panel. So you can see my two home pages. You can see those 2 lessons and my videos page. So I'm going to click into it just to kind of show you the example. This was that first homepage I set up with the blog. This is the second homepage I set up. So it's taking all of those pages from the pages panel under the membership area that we already set up. Now, if you show in customer account panel, there's going to be a panel here that pops out in the sidebar when the customer clicks on their little account icon. So you'll just want to make sure you've configured that in a way that you're happy with, but you won't be able to actually see everything properly until you actually upgrade for member areas. So like I said, that little icon, we're not going to be able to see it because I'm not actually paying for member areas yet. And if you aren't either, you won't be able to see it. So when you enable and subscribe to member areas, so actually start paying for a plan, Squarespace will automatically enable customer accounts on your site. And that means that visitors to your site can become members, obviously through paying for your membership. From there, they can log into their password protected customer accounts to access your membership. And they do that through clicking the login link in your main navigation. So there will be a login link up here once you enable and start subscribing to member areas. You'll be able to click edit site header. Under elements, there will be something that says account login, and you can toggle this on or off. Obviously, I would recommend you keeping it on if you've got a member area and you want people to be able to easily log in. So in Squarespace 7.0, on most templates, that login link is just going to automatically be added. And you can also add a login link manually anywhere. So let's pretend that I want this button here to be a login link. You can say login. And for the link, it needs to say /account/login. And that's going to prompt the login page. So obviously I haven't configured this yet, so this login link isn't going to take us anywhere. But when I start paying for member areas, then this will take the customer to their login page. And you can add this anywhere around your site with that same link. So the very last thing I want to show you is how to actually add that membership block so people can actually buy your membership. So this is just an example site. There's some weird stuff on here, but let's just pretend that this is our sales page. And at the bottom of our sales page, I want to have an area where someone can actually purchase my membership. So I'm going to go ahead and add a block, and I'm going to add the member sign up block. So it's very simple. This is the example that we saw before when we were actually originally setting up our member area. I'm going to click edit. You can choose the member area you want it to be. And then it's going to display all of the different pricing plans that we set up. You can play around with the design. You can hide and show the title, description, price, or even the join button. And you can change the button text. So that's going to take your customer to a checkout. And assuming that you've got all of your payment processors connected and your tax set up, that person is going to go through the checkout process, successfully buy your membership or course. They're going to receive that customer notification email with their login details, so they can either log in from that email or they can come to your course and click on any login button that you've added, whether that's a manual button around your site or the one that should be automatically showing up in your site header. Then they're going to be taken to your membership. I think Squarespace does make this pretty easy. It's a little bit limited to what is offered, but at the same time, the complete customization of the pages is more than what most course platforms offer. So you can make it super custom, which is fun. And it's pretty easy to set up if you're already using Squarespace. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you're interested in more videos about Squarespace or where to host your course, check out these videos next. I think you'll find them really helpful. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe. We put out new videos every week about all this sort of stuff. So I will see you in the next one.